Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. Dave and Mary were two people living in a small town called Yelverton. Dave had recently won a bit of money from playing the lottery, which made him quite happy. On the other hand, Mary ran a small shop where she sold women's clothes. The shop was known for its beautiful clothes and was a favorite among the people in the town. Dave, even though he didn't know much about clothes, found himself interested in the different kinds of materials Mary used for her clothes. He started visiting Mary's shop more often, not just to help out, but because he was curious about the clothes. At first, it was just a few glances here and there, but soon, Dave found himself fascinated by the colors and textures of the fabrics. This fascination turned into a secret hobby for Dave. He began taking clothes from Mary's shop without telling her. At first, it was just a single piece of clothing, but as time went on, Dave took more and more. He would wear them when he was alone, finding comfort and joy in the feel of the fabrics against his skin. Mary, busy with her shop, didn't notice at first. The missing clothes were a mystery, but she had other things to worry about. However, as more clothes disappeared, she started to get worried. She wondered if someone was stealing from her shop. One day, while cleaning the house, Mary stumbled upon a hidden stack of clothes in a closet. She recognized them immediately as the missing items from her shop. Confused and a bit scared, she confronted Dave when he came home. "Why are these clothes here? Did you take them from my shop?" Mary asked, trying to keep her voice calm. Dave was caught off guard. He had never intended for Mary to find out this way. He couldn't find the words to explain why he had taken the clothes. The situation quickly got heated and they ended up arguing. Dave, feeling overwhelmed and embarrassed, decided to leave the house for a while to cool off. The town of Yelverton was a quiet place, and news like this spread fast. However, Dave and Mary's situation remained private, known only to them. Dave spent some time away, thinking about everything that had happened. He knew he owed Mary an explanation, but wasn't sure how to give it. After a few days, Dave returned home. Dave found Mary sitting in the living room, and without a word, he sat down opposite her. "I'm sorry," Dave began, breaking the silence. "I didn't mean to upset you. I found comfort in those clothes. I can't really explain it, but wearing them makes me feel good." Mary listened quietly, her initial anger fading as she tried to understand what Dave was saying. It was a lot to take in, and she had so many questions. But she could see the honesty in Dave's eyes, and she knew this was a moment where they had to talk openly about everything. They spent the rest of the evening discussing Dave's feelings and what this meant for both of them. It wasn't easy. There were moments of confusion and discomfort, but also moments of clarity. By the end of the night, they had made a decision to face this new chapter of their lives together, whatever it might bring. After the big talk, things in Dave and Mary's house felt a bit strange. It was like when you try a new food for the first time. You're not sure if you like it, but you're willing to try more. They knew they had a lot to figure out, but they were ready to work through it together. Dave felt a huge relief having shared his secret with Mary. He had been scared at first, worried about how she would react. But now there was a sense of calm. It was like when you finish a big school project, you're just glad it's over and you can relax a bit. Mary, on her part, was trying to wrap her head around everything. She loved Dave and wanted to be there for him, but this was all very new to her. She remembered how she felt when she first started her shop, unsure but excited to see where it would go. That's how she decided to approach this situation too. The next few days were a mix of quiet moments and long talks. They both did their best to be open and honest with each other. Dave shared more about how wearing the clothes made him feel, and Mary listened, trying her best to understand. One afternoon, Mary had an idea. She suggested they do something fun together to lighten the mood. "How about we give you a makeover?" she said with a smile. "I think it could be fun, and I want to help you explore this side of yourself." Dave was surprised, but excited about the idea, so they decided to spend the day together, doing the makeover. Mary showed Dave how to pick out clothes that he liked and that fit him well. They chose some skirts, tops, and a couple of dresses. Mary also taught Dave how to do his makeup, starting with the basics like how to apply foundation, how to choose eyeshadow colors, and even how to put on eyeliner. They turned on some music, and the atmosphere was light and fun. It felt like a regular day off where they were just enjoying each other's company, doing something they both found enjoyable. After they had picked out the clothes, Mary helped Dave try them on. She showed him how to match different pieces and how to feel comfortable and confident in what he was wearing. Dave looked in the mirror, and for the first time, he saw a reflection that made him smile. It was different, but it felt right. Then it was time for the makeup. Mary explained each step as she went along, showing Dave how to apply mascara and choose lipstick. Dave was a quick learner, and though he made a few mistakes, they just laughed it off. It was all part of the learning process. By the end of the day, Dave, with Mary's help, had transformed into a version of himself that he had only ever dreamed of. He felt happy and light, like a big weight had been lifted off his shoulders. Mary looked at Dave, not just seeing the clothes and makeup, but seeing the person she loved, happy and free. One evening, as they sat in their cozy living room, Mary gently asked Dave to share more about his feelings. "I want to understand you better," she said, her voice soft but full of curiosity. Dave appreciated Mary's effort to learn more about this part of him. He took a deep breath and began to share his thoughts. "It's hard to explain," Dave started, searching for the right words. "When I wear these clothes, I feel like I'm more myself. It's not just about the clothes, though. It's about feeling free to be who I am without worrying about what everyone else thinks." Mary listened intently, nodding to show she was following along. She asked questions, not to judge, but to understand Dave's perspective better. They discussed not just the clothes, but what those choices meant for Dave's sense of self. It was a deep conversation, but they kept it light, sharing laughs and smiles along the way. As the days went by, their talks continued. They didn't have all the answers, but that was okay. They were learning together. Mary even started reading articles and books to gain more insight into what Dave was going through. She wanted to support him in the best way possible. During this time, they also talked about how to move forward. Dave expressed his wish to dress as a woman more often, not just at home, but sometimes when they went out together. Mary admitted she was a bit nervous about this idea, but she also knew how important it was to Dave. Together, they made plans for how to do this in a way that made them both feel comfortable. One afternoon, they decided to go for a walk in a quiet part of Yelverton where Dave could dress as he liked. It was a small step, but a significant one for both of them. They walked hand in hand, enjoying the sunshine and each other's company. It was a simple moment, but it felt like a big victory. They were out in the world, together, and it felt right. After Dave and Mary had many talks and shared a lot of feelings, Dave felt more comfortable with his wish to dress as a woman. Mary was very supportive, and together they decided it was time for Dave to have a special name for when he dressed as he liked. They chose the name Joanna. This name felt just right to Dave, and he was excited to use it. One sunny Saturday morning, Mary planned a special day for Dave, or as he would be known that day, Joanna. It was going to be a day full of new things and fun. Mary had thought of everything to make Dave feel comfortable and happy. The day started with a bubble bath. Mary added sweet-smelling bubbles to the warm water and made sure everything was perfect. Dave enjoyed the bath, finding it relaxing and a bit exciting. It was a new start to the day, different from any other. After the bath, Mary showed Dave how to take care of his skin, giving him tips on how to shave carefully. Dave appreciated Mary's guidance. It was all new to him, but Mary was patient, explaining each step with care. Next came the dressing up part. Mary had prepared a selection of clothes for Dave to try on. There were skirts, dresses, and tops, all chosen with Dave's preferences in mind. Dave tried on different outfits, looking at himself in the mirror with a smile. It was like playing a fun game where he could see a new side of himself. Mary also helped Dave with makeup. She showed him how to apply foundation to make his skin look smooth, how to add color to his cheeks, and how to use eyeliner to make his eyes stand out. Dave was fascinated by the transformation. With each brush stroke, he saw Joanna coming to life in the mirror. They didn't forget about the hair. Mary had a wig that looked very natural. When Dave put it on, he couldn't believe how different he looked. The wig was the final touch that brought Joanna fully to life. After the day they spent transforming Dave into Joanna, Mary saw how much joy it brought to both of them. She thought of new ways they could explore this happiness together. Mary's support meant the world to Dave. He felt like he could truly be himself, and that was something special. Mary suggested they could make some videos of Joanna doing everyday things, like baking or gardening. Dave liked the idea. It sounded like fun, and it was a way to keep memories of their adventures. They used their phone to record, and Dave, as Joanna, showed how to make the best chocolate cake. They laughed a lot, especially when the flour went everywhere. Posting cute cross-dressing videos on YouTube, seeing all the comments made Joanna feel good. Next, Mary had another idea. "What if we make a scrapbook?" she said one morning. "We can put in photos, and you can write about how you feel when you're Joanna." Dave thought it was a great idea. They spent evenings together choosing pictures and decorating pages. Dave wrote about his feelings, and Mary added her thoughts too. It was like creating a treasure map of their journey, showing where they had been and where they wanted to go. One day, Mary brought home some fabric and said, "Let's make a dress together." Dave had never made clothes before, but Mary showed him how. They picked a simple pattern and worked on it together. It took a while and there were mistakes, but that was part of the fun. When the dress was finished, Dave tried it on. It wasn't perfect, but it was theirs, and that made it special. As they explored these new activities, Dave and Mary learned a lot about each other. They found out that trying new things could be scary, but it was also exciting. They saw that being open and working together made them stronger. "Joanna, how would you feel about us attending an event together, somewhere you can be yourself openly and proudly?" Mary suggested one evening as they were discussing their next steps. The idea was to attend a local gathering that celebrated diversity and individuality. It was a significant step, one that would bring Joanna into a broader community where she could express herself freely. In preparation, they decided to go shopping for a new outfit for Joanna. They set out early, wanting to make the most of the day. The morning was bright and clear, a perfect backdrop for what they hoped would be a memorable experience. Their first stop was a boutique known for its unique and inclusive clothing options. As they entered, the soft chime of the doorbell announced their arrival. The boutique was cozy, with clothes of various styles and colors neatly arranged on racks and shelves. The air was filled with the subtle scent of lavender, creating a calming atmosphere. Mary took the lead, her eyes scanning the boutique for potential outfits. "Let's look for something that makes you feel fabulous," she said to Dave, squeezing his hand reassuringly. Dave, still getting used to the idea of shopping for women's clothes in public, nodded, a mix of nerves and anticipation showing on his face. They started with the dresses. Mary picked out a few options, holding them up against Dave to see how they might look. "What do you think of this one?" she asked, presenting a navy blue dress with a floral print. The fabric was soft and flowed gracefully, suggesting movement even as it hung still. Dave considered it, touching the fabric lightly. "It's beautiful," he replied, "but I'm not sure if it's me." Mary nodded, understanding. "Let's keep looking then. You'll know it when you see it." Their search continued, with Mary selecting various dresses and Dave giving his input. They discussed everything from the cut of the dresses to the way the fabrics felt. Dave was drawn to softer, more comfortable materials, while Mary encouraged him to also consider how each piece made him feel about his appearance. After trying on several dresses, Dave's eyes landed on a dress that seemed to call out to him. It was a soft pastel pink, sleeveless, with a delicate lace overlay. The dress had a gentle A-line cut, flattering and modest, yet unmistakably feminine. "This one," Dave said, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "I want to try this one." Mary smiled, her heart swelling with pride and affection. "Let's find a fitting room." In the fitting room, Dave changed into the dress. The fabric felt like a whisper against his skin, light and airy. When he stepped out to show Mary, her eyes lit up. "You look beautiful," Mary said, and she meant every word. Dave looked in the mirror, and for a moment, he saw Joanna staring back at him. The reflection was more than just a man in a dress. It was the visual expression of his inner self, the part of him that had been hidden for so long. Encouraged by Mary's support, Dave decided to complete the outfit. They found a pair of simple, elegant flats that matched the dress perfectly. Mary then suggested they look for accessories, leading Dave to a selection of scarves and jewelry. "How about this scarf?" Mary asked, picking up a lightweight silk scarf in a shade of soft lavender that complemented the dress. "It can add a touch of elegance and bring the whole outfit together." Dave wrapped the scarf around his neck, following Mary's guidance. The silk felt cool and luxurious against his skin. He admired the way it added depth to the outfit, how it moved with a grace that matched the dress. Lastly, they chose a simple, delicate necklace with a small pendant. It was understated, yet it added a focal point to the ensemble. Dave touched the pendant lightly, feeling a connection to the piece. It was as if each item they chose was a piece of a puzzle, coming together to form a complete picture of Joanna. Throughout the shopping trip, their conversation flowed easily. They talked about everything from the styles they liked to how each piece made Dave feel. Mary listened intently, offering her thoughts and encouragement. Dave shared his fears and hopes, feeling a sense of liberation with each word. As they made their way to the checkout, Dave holding the chosen items in his arms, he felt a sense of accomplishment. This was more than just shopping. It was a step towards acceptance, towards being openly and proudly Joanna. The cashier smiled at them as they approached, her gaze warm and welcoming. "You've chosen some beautiful items," she said, ringing up their purchase. "Thank you," Dave replied, his voice soft but filled with confidence. "It's a special day for us." Mary squeezed his hand, her eyes shining with emotion. "It really is." Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.